perfect night for football here at Brimhall Field on the campus of Westwood High School as we get set to bring you Central Division football. The match between the Westwood Warriors, the only undefeated team in the Central Division, against the Mountain View Toros, who have suffered an up-and-down 1985 campaign. Hello again, everybody. I'm George Allen, joined by KTAR's Greg Schulte, and we'll be describing the action of tonight's ball game. A couple of football teams, Westwood, who was preseasonally ranked very high, and they've maintained that ranking. They come in ranked number 5 in the state, unbeaten at 4-0, against Mountain View, a team that's really been quite a mystery this year. A couple of weeks ago, they put together a great game, but other than that, they've not been heard from.
Really hard to figure out this Mountain View ball club, and I imagine Jess Parker is probably more confused about his team than anyone else. The great ball game against McClintock, then last week getting shut out, so it's not been a good season for the Toros, to say the least.
The Westwood Warriors, led by quarterback Sean Peterson, who's enjoyed a fine year. They have a fine running attack. They run out of the veer, and they do it exceptionally well. This is a football team that went 7-3 a year ago, and they were guided by former ASU quarterback Danny White's brother, Chad White. They did not make the playoffs, however, but they did pull off the big upset over at Mountain View a year ago, knocking off the Toros by a score of 16-7. They run the veer exceptionally well.
Yeah, they really do, and it's a program, George, that I think is really on the upbeat right now. They've got the football program turned around, as you said, 7-3 last year, 4-0 this year, and no telling how far they might go.
Jerry Loper has had outstanding success the past couple of years here at Westwood, and Loper has been the kind of a coach who really can bring out the best in his football team. He came here from Amphitheater, where he coached 7 years. He was 5 years as a head coach at Amphi. He comes here now, and he's on the verge of bringing this program all the way back to respectability. On the other side of the coin, you look at Mountain View, coached by Jess Parker. Two-time state champions, 1978 and 1983. They opened the campaign very disappointing. They lost to Gilbert, lost to Dobson. Then 2 weeks ago, right here on ASPN, they pulled off one of the big upsets of the year when they knocked off top-ranked McClintock. And this was one of the big plays of the game when Bob Davis broke through to steal the football from Ken Kiefer and raise 80 yards for a touchdown to seal the 19-6 victory for the Toros of Mountain View. An exceptionally big win. That was quite a football game.
Yeah, it really was. I was on the sidelines getting ready to interview the winning coach after the ball game, and I was looking into the play that was going on. All of a sudden, I saw Davis dashing down the sidelines, and I thought, where in the heck's he going? And next thing I know, he's got the football. He'd gone for the touchdown. But that probably, George, in fact, without a doubt, that was the most outstanding individual performance we've ever seen since we've started doing the high school games.
Davis was just incredible that particular game. He recovered 2 fumbles. He sacked Ken Kiefer 6 times, and he scored a couple of touchdowns. Last week, however, the Toros came back down to earth. They returned home to take on Marcus Deniza and suffered a 7-0 shutout on their home field. And losing at home is something not very, very common to Mountain View. They had lost only 2 home games in the history of the school up until Westwood beat them a year ago. Now they have suffered 5 home losses. They'll try and rebound tonight by knocking off Westwood, and I would guess if they're going to do that, they're going to have a mixture of the running game and the passing game.
Exactly what they did against McClintock. I was very impressed with their passing game against McClintock. In fact, that was one of the big reasons they were able to win. McClintock expecting the run by Mountain View, and it didn't happen. They mixed in the passes. I think really to beat Westwood tonight, they're going to have that same mixture, as you said. Matt
Hedrick, who starts at the split end position for Mountain View, will not start tonight. He'll give way to Jason Shuckhart. Hedrick suffering an injury this particular week in practice. And if you look at Westwood, they are a very opportunistic football team. They take the ball away on many occasions. In their last 2 victories over Tempe and against Chandler, they have taken the ball away from the opposition a total of 10 times, and Mountain View will have to cut down on the turnovers.
Well, they always say if you're going to have a good, outstanding football team, you'll have to start with your defense, and it looks like Westwood has put that good defensive effort on the forefront this year.
Well, Mountain View has had 6 touchdowns called back because of penalty this year. They cannot afford that this evening. We're glad to have you with us on ASPN. Should be a good Central Division encounter. Westwood and Mountain View, we'll come back and get it underway from here at Brimhall Field in just a moment. We're back here again at Brimhall Field. George Allen, Greg Schulte. They have had the toss of the coin. The co-captains for Mountain View, Chris Ballard and Kevin Nickel. And for Westwood, Richard Campos and Adolph Campos. And Westwood has won the toss. They have elected to receive the football. The officiating crew for this ball game tonight, Jim Murphy, the referee, the umpire, Jimmy Carruthers, Lance Murphy, the linesman, and Herman Harold will be the line judge. So those are the 4 men to work this one tonight. The Westwood Warriors trying to remain the only unbeaten team in the Central Division. They are ranked number 5 in the AAA Division I ranks in the state of Arizona. And Mountain View trying to get back on the winning track. Remember, they have never lost more than 3 games in one season under the guidance of Jess Parker. They are 1-3 right now. So about set to get this one underway. We hope you'll stay with us here on ASPN. There you see the 2 deep men. Tom Garcia is back, along with Doug Lewis.
I can see right now, George, we're going to have a fun night trying to read those numerals, which are blue on an orange shirt.
It's going to be difficult. We'd like to tell you who the kickoff man is for Mountain View, but we can't because there's nobody on the roster, number 30, and Jess Parker's had all kinds of kicking problems this year, and this may be another addition from the junior varsity crew. Matter of fact, a couple of weeks ago, when we did the McClintock game, Jess brought up someone from the JV to kick in that game. He didn't kick very well. And so this might be somebody new. It is a short kick. And it's coming down to Westwood, and they'll get it back at about the 30-yard line. As fielding the ball that time was Colton Taylor, 5'10 senior, and running it back, and the tackle by Kevin Gibson. So Westwood goes to the offensive attack, and you take a look at the line. Ramirez, Baker, Spreetsma, a good one. Mortensen and Brunsdale. And that's a good offensive line. The backs and the receivers, well, Noble, Lewis, and Adams carry the mail, guided by Peterson. Andrews, the tight end, caught 6 passes for 90 yards in the victory over Tempe a couple of weeks ago. 1st and 10 Warriors from their own 30. Mountain View with a 6-man front. And the football off up the middle, and nothing doing. As the entire defensive line of Mountain View stacks up Westwood, give them a gain of 1 and call it 2nd and 9. Mountain View up front goes with Green, Lentz, Nickel, and Gibson, a 4-man front with the linebacking trio of Fasak, Davis, and Ballard. Boy, Davis is a good one. If you saw our game a few weeks ago, we don't have to tell you any more about him. Morris and Lindhorst you see in the secondary for Mountain View, along with Chuckhart and Gustafson. 2nd down, 9 to go. Westwood with the football just underway from here in Mesa. Hope you'll stay with us. Pitch the ball out. And carrying the football is Ron Bonner. And nowhere to go as he's hit for a loss of about 2 yards on the play. Tackle made by Chris Ballard from the linebacking spot.
You know, it's easy, George, to say you want to try and run the football away from Bob Davis all night, but he's all over the football field. We'll take another look here. The quick flip back. Now watch the pursuit by Ballard. He just closed him off right away, and there was no room whatsoever for Bonner to make any kind of a move. He just had to try and go head on head.
Kind of surprising to see Rod Bonner on the offensive side of the football. Jerry Loper indicated prior to the game he wouldn't see much time. Peterson is rolling right. He is throwing, and it is complete for a 1st down up over the 40-yard line. Making the reception was Campos, and Mark Andrews also out there. Andrews made the catch. Watch it again as Peterson rolls right and puts it right on the money.
Yeah, he really did, and he almost threw it out of bounds, but there you see the reception right there by number 47, Mark Andrews. They had a couple of people in the general area. Not a nice reception, so Westwood gets the first down of this football game.
Andrews also caught a 20-yard touchdown pass in the victory over Corona del Sol earlier in the season. Jerry Loper coaching the Warriors in that man, Jess Parker, for Mountain View.
A little pumped up before the ball game, huh?
Absolutely. Really driving his ball club. Jess has won 3 state championships. 1 with Camelback and 2 here with the Toros. 1st and 10 as they convert on a big 3rd down and long play. And this is Bonner cracking up over the 45-yard line out to about the 46 or 7 before the tackle is made. That man Bob Davis there on the tackle, but a good gain on 1st down for Westwood. 2nd down and 6.
Now the big key, you want to get some good yardage on your 1st down play. And that time they picked up some good yardage, 4 yards. That's a pretty good amount. I think anything over 3 on a 1st down carry you've got to be pleased with. And that time, as George pointed out, they picked up 4. So they're driving the football in this first series.
Westwood who runs down to the pier, and they've got some excellent running backs too. Hand the ball off up the middle. Noble with the ball, and he moves up for a gain of a couple before he is stacked up by Ballard from the linebacking spot for Mountain View. It'll bring up 3rd down now. 3rd and about 4 to go. The ball just shy of midfield at the 49 of Westwood.
Really, with the exception of the one pass play, we're seeing grind-up football right down the middle of the football field. There you see the gentleman who has really brought football back here to Westwood. The last couple of seasons, Jerry Loper has done an outstanding job with this ball club.
Loper, 5 years, a head coach at Amphitheater in Tucson. 2 years as an assistant coach at AMP5. Peterson back to throw. He lets it go. He's got a man open. It's incomplete. He tried to hit Campos off his fingertips at about the 42, and Ballard over covering. Also back on defense was Brian Morris. So it'll be 4th down, and the Warriors forced to kick it away.
Watch it again. He had it a little bit too high this time. You'll see Campos go up in the air, tried to one-hand it, and almost opportunity for interception there by Brian Morris.
So Dale Noble will kick it away, waiting for the snap at about his own 35-yard line. And looks like Matt Fitch is back. Big rush is on.
Nice
Down
kick.
goes Noble. Fair catch by Fitch. He makes the catch at the 20. No roughing the kicker call, as about 5 Toros converged on Noble and almost blocked it. And Noble went down, but no call. Watch it again. Here's the rush.
I think he went down on his own.
Could very well be the case. So the Toros have the football now. 1st and 10. The first time they've touched it here tonight. And there you see them huddled up, trying to get things going. They opened the season with a loss to Gilbert, 33-12. Went home the next week and were beaten 15-13 by the Dobson Mustangs. Then they pulled off the upset at McClintock, and last week came back and lost at home to Marcus Caniza. Sam Fitch, part of the brother combination of Mountain View, along with Matt. Pitch a ball back to Phillips. Phillips touches for good yardage. He's out here, 1st down territory. Shy of the 30 at about the 29-yard line. Rick Flaherty from the secondary to tackle. And Mountain View with that front line of Cunningham and Trussell, Baranis, Nelson, and Pospisil. And a good set of backs and receivers as well. Davis, you know about. Shuckhart starting in place of Hedrick. Fitch, Ballard, and Phillips, the running backs. And they go along. So it's Mountain View with the football.
These 2 teams look like they're going fast motion here in the early part of the game. Really running hard.
2nd down, just about a yard to go as Fitch calls the signal. Pitches the ball back to Phillips, and his knee touched down for a loss back at about the 27.
And he suffered a hit there late. Mark Brunsdale came up and popped him after he had gotten back up. Take a look at the defensive line for Westwood.
Campos and Levitt, Ramirez and Caton. That's a good front 4 for the Warriors. They held Tempe to only 48 yards rushing 2 weeks ago. Garcia, Noble, and Wallace, the linebacking trio. And the secondary of Garcia, Rod Bonner, Rick Flaherty, and Mark Andrews. Pretty solid, the Westwood Warriors. They've played well all season long. Last time this team made the playoffs, 1979. Phillips is getting the work out early, tries to circle the right side, and is forced out of bounds. Noble, one of the people up there to spill it.
See it again, as George pointed out. Phillips really getting an early workout here as he carries the ball over to the sideline, and he never did go down, although there were a host of Warrior tacklers over in that general vicinity. So that's 2 times in a row, George, they've run that sweep play around right end.
They're going to bring the chains out and see how far they have to go. 7:27 left to go, first quarter, no score. You get a bird's eye view, and they're just that much short of a 1st down. So 3rd down coming up, and we'll see what Jess Parker decides to call. That's tough with Matt Fitch, Sam's brother, over there on the sideline. Matt, who is playing the wingback position, they respond to football. Mountain View leads this overall series 5-2. And Jerry Loper would like nothing more than to make it 2 in a row over Mountain View, beating them last year 16-7 on the Toros home field.
Well, it looks like they're going to go for it. And this will be big play number 1 of this football game.
So it's 4th down. And less than a yard, actually, to go for a 1st down. Everybody in tight. Westwood stacks the defense. Pitch on a quarterback keep, and he got it, I believe. We'll see where they spot the football, but it appeared from here as though he got enough for the 1st down.
Probably the safest call to make in that instance, as we get the word from the referee that it is indeed a 1st down. Number 1, you take the snap. You know when the snap's going to come, so you can get your feet moving if you're the quarterback. Number 2, you hand off. Number 1, you risk a possible fumble to your running back. And number 2, you could get stopped behind the line of scrimmage. So that's a smart move there. Although, like I said, a little bit of a gutsy move this early on in the game.
So the initial first down of the football game picked up by the Toros now. Flanker either side. Pitch the ball back. This is Lindhorst cutting it in, getting good yardage. He's up near the 40-yard line and dropped by Rich Ramirez from the defensive line, but not before he got good yardage, about 8 of them on first down.
Well, that's the first time we've really seen Mountain View go to the left side of the night, and it did produce some good yardage. With that carry that time, Lindhorst.
Steve Lindhorst, 5'10" junior, 170 pounds. This stadium holds a lot of people over here at Brimhall Field. They packed about 12,000 in here a year ago for the state semifinal game between St. Mary's and McClintock. Phillips around the left side, up near first down territory. Mountain View's ground game going well here at the outset of this game, right in front of the Toro bench. Phillips finally knocked down by Jeff Wallace. But it's enough for a first down. They'll move the sticks again. First and 10 Toros. Ball control, important. Keep it away from that Warrior offense, which can score points.
And I'm sure Judge Parker told his ball club before the game, let's not beat ourselves tonight.
Right.
We've had too many things. Look at that crowd. We've got a nice crowd on hand here tonight. Mountain View bringing a lot of people over, and of course the home crowd directly below us for Westwood. So
looked like it was parents' night here.
Yeah, it was.
A
lot of parents on the football field.
The parents out there with the football players for Westwood. First down, pitch to throw. He's going to let it all out. He's got a man, but it's intercepted. It's back off down around the 20-yard line, and they bring it back to about the 48-yard line of Mountain View. So Westwood, the intended receiver was Hedrick, and picking it off was Anderson. Ron Anderson intercepted the ball. Watch it again.
Yeah, you'll see it. Pass go down the field. It was actually intended for, I got mixed up on the numbers there. It was
Shuckart,
Jason Shuckart,
who was filling in tonight for Hedrick.
pretty good fake. And he got the football downfield, but he just overshot his target. And a nice interception there by Ron Anderson, 5'9", 170-pound junior.
So moving was Campos from his flanker spot on the left side. That's going to cost the Warriors 5 yards. It'll be first down and 15 to go now, and they'll step it off back into Warrior territory. 5:18 to go in the first quarter, no score. Jerry Loper looks on from the Westwood side of the field. They've just taken the ball away from Mountain View. Mountain View had the football, picked up a couple of first downs on the ground. And then Matt Fitch, or rather Sam Fitch, tried to air it out down the field. He had it picked off by Ron Anderson. First and 15, pitch the ball back, but the ball is Lewis. Kind of inside and didn't get much, maybe a couple of yards before he's finally nailed down.
Mountain View's defense came to play tonight, George. That stop made right there by Kevin Gibson, 6'4", 160-pound senior, and they're hitting out there. Both these ball clubs defensively really doing some popping. Big ball game for Mountain View. They don't want to go 1-4.
No question about that. Jeff Parker, as you mentioned, really pumped up tonight down on the sidelines, proud of the ball game. Letting his ball club know just how important he felt this one was. Peterson to put it in the air. He will let it go long. He's trying to hit Campos, and he overshoots it. Brian Morris is back covering for the Toros.
I like the look so far of what I've seen of Peterson. He took a two-step drop that time. Fired the football downfield, but it was over the head of the intended receiver. Westwood trying to mix up their plays, a little running with a couple of passes here and there. Try and move on the Toros.
Campos, the intended receiver that time, caught a touchdown pass against Chandler a week ago in the Warriors' victory as the Warrior cheerleaders getting into the ball game down in front of us. Peterson to put her up again. He's letting it go long, flag down. Pass is complete. Nice catch. Great catch by Rick Flaherty down to around the 25 of the Toros. Now let's check the flag.
It's going to go against
Westwood. They'll bring this one back. Excellent throw by Peterson. Fine catch by Flaherty. But it's all for naught. Watch it again.
See if we can detect any kind of, no, we didn't see any kind of holding situation that might almost look like a hold there. Steve Lindhorst, the defensive player.
You know, the game against Corona a few weeks ago between Westwood and Corona, it was a game marred by penalties.
No, that's the type of a play that's been going against Mountain View all season long. They'll complete a decent pass or a long run, and it'll be called back by penalty.
Mountain View had 6 touchdowns called back this year because of penalties.
Well, that's a lot of points.
It sure is. The game against Corona a few weeks ago, Westwood had 7 penalties, 75 yards. They still won the game, 38-24. Peterson, he'll try and go long once again, and it's incomplete. Back covering again with Brian Morris.
Mike Adams, the intended receiver that time, goes. He's overshooting his intended receivers, but in that instance, it's not a bad idea because he had a defensive player right on top. A lot of times you'll see a quarterback, it looks like he's throwing the football very badly, overshot his receiver, but a lot of times that'll be intended. When he sees the coverage is so good that he'll just shoot it over the intended receiver's head.
4th down and a long way to go until Noble will be forced to punt it away.
And another rush.
That's going to be a rough in the kicker call. The Toros, who ran into Noble the last time, got no flag call, do it again, and the man guilty was Steve Lindhorst.
Well, it was either Lindhorst or it was...
Noble kicking the football was just knocked down. And watch it again. Second time in a row the Toros have put the pressure on. It was Lindhorst who ran right into him. And so they'll step this one off against Mountain View.
And that's exactly the type of play that's been killing Mountain View this season. You know, you look at what Mountain View has done. The loss to Gilbert. They step it off, and we'll get the call here from the referee momentarily.
Automatic first on that one.
He's not talking to us, is he? 33-12 was the opening loss. They lost to Dobson 15-13, beat McClintock. Their only win of the season, 19-6, and then last week shut out by Marcus, 7-0.
1st and 10 Warriors, ball on the 43 of Mountain View. No score. First quarter. Peterson quick drop, lets it fly. It is tipped and incomplete. Flaherty, the intended receiver, at about the 25 of Mountain View. And over covering was Dan Duffy. Duffy, who intercepted a pass in the end zone against McClintock earlier this year.
I think Duffy got his hands on the football here. Let's see again. The intended receiver will really get hit hard. Boy, and he got blasted pretty good there.
So Peterson, who started off with pitching it back to his running backs. The ground game hasn't gone well for Westwood early in this football game, so it's now resorted to putting the football in the air. And Peterson throws it well. They draw to Bonner, who didn't throw Kevin Nickel, who wrapped him up and dropped him about the 42 or 3-yard line. So a very short gain on the play is going to bring up 3rd and long for the Warriors with 3:25 to go first quarter. No score. The Westwood Warriors, who won a state championship back in 1964. They were 12-0 under Mutt Ford and finished runner-up for the state championship in 1966. They lost to a powerful Tucson High team 14-7. Made the playoffs in 1979, but haven't been heard from since. Peterson, the pitch back to Lewis, and Lewis is dragged down by Duffy as he tries to turn the corner inside the Toro 40. It'll be well shy of a first down, and the Warriors send the punting team on the field.
Well, once again, they have been stopped on this offensive series after getting a break when Mountain View rushed the punt man and roughed it. So they got the penalty yardage marked off, but nevertheless couldn't capitalize, and after 3 more plays, they've got to kick it away again. Let's see if twice now Mountain View has really put on a strong rush.
That's Matt Fitch waiting to return the punt by Noble, and it's blocked. It is blocked, and it is picked up by Duffy, and he is dragged down at the 40 of Westwood. So the Toros tried it 3 times. They finally got it.
Yeah, there's some kind of a breakdown on the line of the punting unit for Westwood because 3 consecutive times. Watch Duffy. I mean, he just barrels through it. He's not even touched. He knew he was going to get the block. Not a bad job. He got the kick, got the ball to the foot in pretty decent shape. It actually took a pretty good defensive play there by the punter to drag Duffy down. I see Judge Parker.
So the Toros go to work 1st and 10 in Warrior territory from the 40, and Fitch will put it in the air. He rolls right, lets it fly, and he's got Davis down inside the 30-yard line and dragged down at the 25. Over making the play was Rod Bonner from the secondary. But
Davis is a tough kid.
Oh, is he ever.
He takes about 3 Warriors with him on it. This is a nice little bootleg right here by Fitch, as you see, and then he fires the football. Bonner's the one who finally was able to drag him down. As you could see, there were 3 3 people that it took to get the big guy down.
Toros on the move inside the 30 of Westwood. Pitch it back to Lindhorst. Might have tripped over his own blocker. Ballard in the backfield. Went down to about the 28-yard line.
He did. He tripped over the foot of Ballard. Looked like Bonner was putting on the blitz that time and shot through. And that forced the ball carrier back inside, and Ballard trying to throw the block to keep the defensive man outside. Went down to the ground, and that's where you saw Tom Garcia, or check that, number 21 for Mountain View, Steve Lindhorst, fall over the foot.
1 minute to go first quarter. No score, but the Toros driving. And a pitch to Lindhorst. Fouling and blocking. And he cuts it. And he's inside the 15 and knocks down at about the 13 of the Westwood Warriors. That's a Toro first down.
Well, they're finding some holes over there on the left side. I think Sean Roundtree made the stop that time. That one almost broke it. That one almost broke through for the score. Lindhorst really shooting through with some good games here. Early part of this football game. Down inside a minute now.
So the Westwood defense being put to the test. We're at 40 seconds and counting here in the first period. No score. Mountain View trying to capitalize on a blocked punch just moments ago. Westwood, the offense, unable to do anything here in the first quarter. And the Toros trying to strike first. Hand the ball off. First man up the middle. Driving is Ballard. And he's dragged down as he approaches the 10-yard line. 15 seconds to go in the quarter, and that well might be the last play of the first period. So Mountain View on a drive. And of course, they'd love to keep the ball away from this potent Westwood offense, and that'll do it for the first quarter. 3 seconds, 2, 1, that's it. The end of the first quarter of play from here at Brim Hall Field. Our score in this Central Division League game, Westwood nothing, Mountain View nothing. We'll be right back. Quarter. Mountain View with the football. It goes to Chris Phillips, and he's got good yardage off the right side of his line. Good blocking that time by Doug Nelson. Jeff Posca still on the right side. He's inside the 10 on a second down carry. Westwood finally brings Roddy Bonner up from the secondary to stop him, but the Toros really doing a good job on the ground here in this first half. We've played about 30 seconds now, the second period. And this is the first serious scoring threat by either team. Matt Fitch split way wide to the right side. Sam rolling right, pitches it back. Fumbled by Phillips. He scrambles for the football. It's loose. And Westwood's got the ball.
I think Jeff Wallace was the man who pounced on it. Boy, that's going to upset Jess Parker.
The pitch back to Phillips seemed to go off the top of his shoulder pads. And the Warriors get the football back. We told you they take it away a lot. 10 times in the last 2 games. And here they capitalize their second takeaway from Mountain View tonight.
Let's see if the replay shows it. It looked like Fitch. It wasn't a bad pass. Flip back. And I believe it was number 30 there, Jeff Wallace, who made the fumble recovery. So there Mountain View goes self-destructing at the end.
2 turnovers already for the Toros in this football game. So they see a scoring drive go down the drain. Peterson on a keeper. Nothing doing. Got the
He
ball
actually
out of
fumbled.
the ball out at about the 15-yard line.
He actually fumbled that football in the air, George. Ken Gustafson finally made the stop, although I think what they ruled was that his knee touched the ground.
No gain on the play. It's second down and 10, and the ground game has just about been non-existent for Westwood here in the first quarter, first half. Westwood, the number 5 ranked team in the state of Arizona on the AAA Division I level. That carry goes for about 4 or 5 yards. Doug Lewis carrying the ball. The tackle made by Chris Ballard.
You know, one thing about Mountain View, they've only won 1 football game and lost 3, but their defense has played pretty good. The defense has kept them in most ball games. It won the McClintock game, actually.
With the exception of the Gilbert game where they got beaten bad, they have played well.
Their defense, and defense is what they expected to play well. The offense they thought they were going to have troubles with, and it has continued on. They have not gotten that offense together this year.
They were shut out a week ago, haven't scored through the first quarter tonight. Peterson on a roll, lost it downfield. They fight for the football. It's going to come down as a completed pass.
Yeah, I think so.
Both players have the football, and of course it'll go to the offensive man.
It's like
Andrews made the catch, the tight end. Watch it again.
see is primary receiver is covered. Then he just lobs it up. And it looks to me like Andrews had a little bit of height over Ken Gustafson and was able to pull it down into his grasp.
First down at their own 35 for the Warriors.
There's a big pass completion there because the ball, when it drifted up, looked like it might be up for grabs.
Mike Adams flanked to the right side for the Warriors. And the ball off to Lewis. He finds a hole and cuts through. And he's down inside Toro territory before he's dragged down by Gustafson from the secondary. Biggest running game of the night for the Warriors.
Did he break through there? He really shot through like a cannon. Watch it again. Now watch him shoot through that line. He got a nice opening by his offensive front line over on the left side, and give them some credit because he just had a hole about as wide as you could imagine shooting through there.
He had a big game against Corona del Sol, did Doug Lewis, 231 all-purpose yards. And against the Aztecs, he carried 14 times for 123 yards and 2 touchdowns. He got a big gainer right there. He scored 3 touchdowns on the year. Doug Lewis, he's a senior, 5'10", 180 pounds.
You just saw the back of Jess Parker. I think the chains were just a little tangled up there momentarily. Jess had his back to the play. He's seen this scene too many times before.
Jerry Loper would like to see his team start moving the ball on the ground.
Very likable guy.
Loper has done a fine job here. He's been here for a while at Mason, at Westwood. He's seen the ups and the downs, and hoping this program is on the upward swing again. Pitch to Lewis, and he's going to be hit and got throw off back at his own 45-yard line. One of the men to hit him was Brent Lentz, along with Chris Ballard from the linebacking spot, and that's a big loss.
Sure was. I think it was Ballard, the man who finally got him first. See again, yeah, it's Ballard who's putting the pursuit on right there and drops him. And he got help from about 4 or 5 others who said, hey, time for a loss. Let's all take a little credit here.
It's about an 8-yard loss on the play. Second down, 18 to go for the Warriors. No score. The last time we covered Mountain View was against the Clinton. That game was scoreless at halftime. Peterson throws to Campos, who makes the reception and is thrown down by Duffy in the secondary at about the 45-yard line of the Toros. So they got about 10 of those yards back on the pass play.
That was a very nice-looking play. He just dropped back a couple of yards, as you'll see here in the replay, and just fired up over the middle, and his man was right where he was supposed to be. It's a timing play. You go down 5 yards, cut back in, and I'll lay the ball there. Actually, it was, what, about 10 yards, I guess, on the completion.
Campos returned a punt, 90 yards for a touchdown in the opening game of the season for Westwood against Coronado. Going long for Andrews, who makes the catch down at the 18-yard line. Gustafson defending, but Andrews just a little bit more hungry for the football.
That's twice now he's gotten the ball away from Gustafson. Now watch it again. This is a wobbler. Not a very well-thrown pass, but it served the purpose. You see Andrews has to go up and come back for the football, and Gustafson, with his momentum taking him a little bit further, couldn't quite come back in time.
So now the Warriors with their first serious scoring opportunity.
He looks like a pretty good receiver.
Yes, he does. He is a darn good receiver, Mark Andrews. We told you he had the big game against Tempe a couple of weeks ago. And he's had a couple of receptions in this football game. And now the football's at the 17 of Mountain View.
Jerry Loper's in the huddle for Westwood. Jess Parker in chatting with his defensive unit.
I want to remind our viewers to stay with us at halftime. We'll be going into the Westwood High School locker room with Coach Jerry Loper and his Warriors. And we'll hear some of the discussion from the locker room of the Westwood Warriors at halftime. Well, that's the fielding of the Warriors here at Brim Hall Field, as they'd like to deal the Toros yet another setback and make it a 1-4 campaign so far for Jess Parker. The Toros came out fired up. Had the football just moments ago, down deep in the Warrior territory, but a fumble got the football back for Westwood, and now they're driving.
You know, George, we were talking about before the ball game down to the field. I'll get to it momentarily. We'll see this next play, what happens.
It is first down for Westwood at the 17 of Mountain View. No score, second period of play. Peterson has Noble, and this is Rod Bonner with the handoff, and he went nowhere. met by a trio of tacklers and stopped right in his tracks. It'll be 2nd and 10.
Bob Davis, the man who made the stop. Last week, Westwood defeated Chandler 17-7. I think a little bit more disturbing than the loss to Chandler was the fact they lost their outstanding quarterback, and he's gone for the rest of the year.
That's right. Deke Schutz, broken collarbone. He'll be out for the campaign. That is a big crimp in the offensive attack for Chandler because he runs that wishbone. Pass is complete down inside the 10-yard line. Duffy again in on the tackle. Rick Flaherty made the reception.
It's amazing these kids can get up after that. What a pop by Duffy here. Look, pass is right there, and he'll suffer. He's up in the air. His feet aren't down yet when Duffy hit him. Take another angle at it. Camera work tonight by our crew. He really got popped there. Saw the feet off the ground when Duffy leveled him in the back, but Flaherty got right up.
3rd and less than a yard for the Warriors. They're the ball on the 8-yard line of Mountain View. Peterson, the Noble. He's got the first down. It's going to be 1st and goal Warriors, close to the 5 of the Toros.
I don't think I have seen as much stacking up by the offensive units of the football teams as high school. So it looks like they've got everybody bunched up right behind the quarterback about 2 inches. And that was a similar play there. It's almost like the quarterback has no room to maneuver whatsoever. Am I just imagining that, or does it look like that to you?
It looks the same way to me. I've been real impressed with the play of Peterson, his quarterback for Westwood. He keeps his cool and his composure and seems to throw the ball fairly effectively, too. They've mixed their plays up nicely here. Hand it off to Lewis, and Lewis is down to about the 3-yard line. And dropped by Kevin Nichols, the big defensive tackle for Mountain View, 190-pound senior. It's going to be 2nd down and goal to go now for the Warriors.
Now this is where Mountain View had their problem offensively, down to the other end of the football field a while back. Tried to flip back from the quarterback to a back coming out of the backfield, and it didn't work. They fumbled the football and gave it over to Westwood.
Campos flanked near side and handed off, and he's driving for the goal line. No signal yet from the official. The Westwood players say he's over, but the officials who have the final say have not given the indication.
That was close. He is right on the goal line. I mean, that football, the nose of it is almost, look at that. Can't get much closer than that.
You sure can. That's how much they need for a touchdown. And Jeff Parker urging his troops to hang in there. It is 3rd down and goal to go. Ball almost touching the goal line. Westwood threatening here. No score. Handed off to Noble, and he dives for the goal line, and he did not get in. It's going to be 4th.
And you're going to be short. I think he might have lost a little bit of yardage. See it again. Now watch. He stopped.
Now he drives. You see him lunge over. But you're right. The official said his knee did touch that.
He did lose some yardage.
So it is 4th down. What a stand this would be for Mountain View if they can hold right here. 4th and goal. Handed off. He didn't get in.
Bob Davis.
Davis met him and dropped him. Davis along with Bill Fasak, 6'2 junior, and the Toros of Hilden will take over the football.
I thought for sure they'd roll. I thought they would try and sweep it to one of the sides because they just tried this play up the middle. You'll see it again. I mean, he got hit hard.
Davis just stacked him up. No one blocked Davis, and he just stood him up and dropped him.
Well, 10 times out of 10, if you're going to match up going against Bob Davis, nobody's going to try and attempt to block you off of there. He's going to knock you for a loop. Boy, was that a big defensive effort.
We just talked about the mixing up of plays for Westwood. They didn't mix them up very much down in the goal line. This is Phillips. And Phillips just tripped up before he may have broken a big game.
Flag in the end zone, George.
Really mark her down. We'll see what the call is. The Toros come off a big goal line stand. It's against Mountain View.
Chop block. They're not going to be able to move the football back very far, are they?
That's for sure. Chris Ballard talking with the official, one of the co-captains, or rather Bob Davis for Mountain View.
Boy, what a great defensive stand that was.
He'll call a safety. They say that his knee touched down in the end zone. See if we have another look at that. I'm sure Jeff Parker wants an explanation. He's getting one right now by the sideline. Let's take another look. Phillips with the pitch.
How can they call a safety on that?
I don't understand that at all.
Well, he's not talking to us. He's mic'd. We'll tell you right now in the audience he is mic'd, but he's not talking to us. We'll have to try and get an explanation of that. Evidently, just didn't...
The indication of him should have blocked below the knee or something. I couldn't understand that because it's very obvious from our replay that...
Well, I thought he went with the chop block, which is an illegal play, and then all of a sudden we see the sign go up for a safety.
Well, it's 2-0 now in favor of Westwood. They're going to get the football back. But an unusual play. Kind of put us behind the 8 ball here in the booth.
His knee did not touch in the end zone. He's out of the end zone right now. And he's down at about, boom, the 3 or 4 yard line. Well, somehow they gave Westwood 2 points.
Well, we'll try and get an explanation for you, if not before the end of the first half. We only have 3.5 minutes till halftime. We'll try and get an explanation for you at halftime as to the call of that particular play. There's your score. And no, it's not a baseball game. 3:34 to go first half, and the Warriors are going to get the football right back.
Well, we'll take a look at that one again at halftime, obviously, and see if we can get some kind of an explanation from the officiating crew.
Each team has had their opportunities here in the first half. The Toros fumbled the football away deep in the Warrior territory in this second period. Then the Warriors came back down and had a first and goal opportunity and could not push it in from right near the goal line. And the Toros took over the football, and on the first play there, a safety was called, putting Westwood in front 2-0, and now they'll get the football back again. The explanation being any personal foul called in the end zone warrants a safety. Campos picks the ball up at his own 30 and looks for running room and gets it out to the 37 or 38-yard line. Tackle made by John Kessler, and so the Warriors go to work. So evidently the infraction occurred in the end zone with Phillips carrying the football, and under AIA rules, that warrants a safety.
Well, what we'll do at halftime again, we'll take another look and see if we can see any kind of infraction that occurred in the end zone. And obviously there was one because the officials spotted one, threw the flag, and it was clear that the runner did not touch his knees down in the end zone. So the penalty in the end zone warrants 2 points for Westwood.
Peterson to throw. He's going to go long, and it's incomplete. Try to hit Flaherty on the pass play. Morris back covering for Mountain View. It'll be second down, 10 to go.
I've never seen that call.
I never have either. Well, there are some... We talked about the one rule in effect, whereas on a kickoff, if you catch the football in the end zone, you cannot run it out. It's just automatically brought out to the 20. Whether you want to run it back or not, you can't. And there's another rule that just crops up that we were not aware of. This safety call as a penalty is now being stepped off against Westwood, a big one. Holding against the Warriors. 3 minutes, 10 seconds to go first half. 2-0 Westwood. And we're glad to have you with us on ASPN. We're going to be back over here at Brimhall Field for our final telecast of the year on November 15th. When the Mesa Jackrabbits come over here as the two big rivals go at it. Peterson on a roll. He's going to keep it. He's going to get it out over the 30 to about the 35-yard line as he followed the blocking of John Baker, the 5'10" senior around the right side. And he gets the football out to about the 35-yard line. So we've got some of the lost yardage back. Stop the clock at 2:52 to go as Mark Andrews comes in with a play. And it'll bring up second down. And about 12 to go. So he got about 8 of those yards back from the penalty, did Peterson. Again in the halftime, we will go into the Westwood High School locker room and hear Jerry Loper discuss tonight's ball game with his players. So we ask you to stay tuned for that.
I want 4 seconds back on the clock. It says 2:52.
We'll take another look at that play where they called the safety. Phillips is 22. He'll get the pitch from Fitch. coming around the right side. Now there's the block, and I don't know whether that's what the call was or not, but there was an infraction in the end zone, and that was clearly in the end zone, and they called the safety. So that well may have been the call. But Westwood got the 2 points, and they lead 2-0. And now they face a 2nd down and 12 situation from their own 36 with 2. See how they realign the clock now. As they hollered from the field up here to the booth, they wanted 4 more seconds on the clock, and the clock is now winding down. Next week, the Knights of St. Mary's, our first look at Pat Farrell's ball club in 1985, as they'll be at Glendale Community College where they're playing their home games this year. They'll take on the Huskies of Horizon, who surprised a lot of people by winning their first 2 games of the 85 campaign. Skyline Division encounter next week, St. Mary's and Horizon. We hope you'll be with us. Boy, St. Mary's year in and year out. Excellent football team. Right now ranked number 2 in the state behind Amphitheater. Got some fine running backs returning from that state championship team of a year ago, too, St. Mary's. 2:56 on the clock. 2nd and 12 to go. And the ball, fumble on the play, and a loose ball. They say was down. They say his knee was down at about the 37-yard line.
Kevin Nickel made the stop again, George, but he did fumble the football, and evidently his knee was down.
So the 3rd down coming up now for the Warriors. AAA high school football coming your way on ESPN with 2:24 to go, and Peterson to air it out. He's being rushed, and now he's dragged down. The big play made down there by Brent Lentz, 6'2" senior, 225 pounds. One of our fine sponsors of AAA high school football is Domino's Pizza. For fast, free, and friendly 30-minute delivery, give a call to your Domino's Pizza man.
Now, why do they get pizza and we don't? We're going to have to order another one now.
That pizza didn't last very long at all. Noble, who's had trouble getting punched away, gets a nice kick away to Mac Fitch, who fields at his own 34 and starts cross field. Gets a good block. He's out up over the 40 and now is dragged down at the 42-yard line.
Tom Garcia is a man who pulled him down, Joe. What a great block.
Excellent block. An 8-yard return by Fitch. And the Toros go to work 1st and 10 from the 41-yard line with a minute and a half to go in the first half.
See, the thing that doesn't make any sense about all the cheerleaders getting the pizza is, don't they have to watch their figures?
Evidently not. You can bet they'll welcome us back on the final week of the season knowing this now. Toros have the ball. 2-0 Westwood leading. As we wind down to the end of the first half. This is Ballard, and he's dragged down.
Hey, the Westwood defense has played tough tonight.
Excellent play that time by Brent Levitt, 6'2" junior, 205 pounds. It'll be 2nd down coming up. Give him a loss of 2 on the play and call it 2nd and 12.
Jess Parker's taking a timeout. He's in with his offensive unit.
As you mentioned earlier, we saw the passing game of Mountain View work very effectively against McClintock with short down and out passes, a lot of them to Bob Davis. And Fitch has not put the ball in the air as much tonight as he did against McClintock. We may see him throw a little bit more in the second half, but he really hasn't had to because the ground game's been very effective.
Perhaps even more unbelievable in that McClintock game. You know, McClintock hasn't got a bad defensive secondary, and they were beating those people all night long. So evidently Westwood, Jess Parker feels that their defensive secondary is pretty decent, and evidently he feels that they can move the football on the ground against Westwood, which they have done maybe a few times during the course of this game, but not really effectively for 1 or 2 series in a row. It's been kind of tough yardage for them.
Mountain View's played well on ESPN. In 8 telecasts since we've been covering high school football, they've won 6 and lost only 2. Back to throw, rushes on, Fitch gets it away, and it's going to be incomplete. Almost intercepted by Tom Garcia, the 5'7" senior.
That was a pretty good play by Ballard because Garcia waited for the football, and Ballard comes back to knock it away. There's a flag. Let's see the replay again. They'll just throw this one up for grabs. And watch, Ballard comes back, kind of knocks it out of the arms.
We'll see what the infraction is. Mountain View, one of the most successful football programs in the state of Arizona since its inception. They've won 84% of their games under Jeff Parker since the school opened.
Penalty against Westwood.
We told you how opportunistic Westwood is. I'll give you an example. Last week in the win over Chandler, they intercepted 4 passes, recovered 2 fumbles. And in the game against Tempe, Westwood recovered 3 fumbles and they intercepted a pass. And here tonight, they've recovered a fumble and intercepted a pass.
How about that? The first time all night, the official talks to us.
So Westwood has taken the ball away from the opposition 12 times now in the last 2.5 football games. Mountain View has it now in Warrior territory and still time to do something. 1 minute and 5 left. Takes the throw. He has time. He lets it get away, and it's going to be complete.
Nice catch.
Excellent catch down there by Jason Shuphart. First down Mountain View at the 32 of Westwood.
Tommy Garcia all over him. That was a nice catch right there.
Shuphart, a 5'10" senior. You'll get another look. An outstanding catch. He laid this one right in there.
Sure did. Now let's see as he inbounds. Sure
Yeah,
is.
got the feet in. So the Toros making some noise of their own now as they come right back.
See, the problem with Mountain View, though, too, George, they almost have to put it into the end zone because their kicking game has been so poor. I don't know if Jess would even risk kicking a field goal.
I agree with you. He's had real problems with the kicking game this year and has evidently, from the uniform number, brought somebody new tonight to do the kicking. Nice draw to Ballard. A lot of running room. Ballard stutter stepping his way inside the 20. Fumble a football, and Mountain View's got it back outside the 10 of Westwood. 49 seconds to go until halftime.
The man who recovered the football was
at all. So the kicking game continues to be a problem for the Toros, but they're still very much in this football game. Peterson will put it up on the final play of the half. He's throwing long, and he shoots it down there. Incomplete. That's the end of the first half. And here at Brimhall Field, the campus of Westwood High School in Mesa, our score: the Warriors of Westwood 2, the Toros of Mountain View nothing. Stay with us. Halftime activity in a moment. Halftime, 2-0, Westwood leading. The Warriors ranked 5th in the state, 4-0 on the season. There you see them huddled up prior to the start of the second half. Mountain View is 1-3 on the season, looking for a Central Division victory here tonight. And it's been a tough football game here in the first half. And a good crowd on hand here at Brimhall Field to watch it in Mesa, Arizona. Take a look at the halftime statistics in this Westwood Mountain View football game. Warriors leading in first downs. Not much doing on the ground as Mountain View leads the ground attack, but Westwood's done most of their damage through the air. Pretty close in total yards, and the turnovers, some keys there. 2 turnovers by Westwood. It should be 2 turnovers really for Mountain View. They had a fumble and a pass interception, so the turnovers even. Westwood got the kickoff to start the football game, and so the Toros will take the football to start the second half. Westwood returning 16 lettermen from a team that went 7-3 a year ago, including 9 starters. And they got a great deal of help from an excellent JV unit that went 8-0 a year ago. Mountain View, 14 lettermen back from last year's squad, but only 4 starters returning. And Westwood again, smelling the playoff picture. And that's something that has not happened here on this campus since 1979, when the Warriors went 9-3 during that year.
It's really going to be interesting to see what Mountain View does. What kind of alterations Jess Parker might have come up with in the locker room at halftime. As we heard Westwood's Jerry Loper point out, got to go to the sides. Thinks he can beat Mountain View defensively with either the long pass play or the sweeps. So we'll see if they stay by that rule of thumb. And there's Jess Parker. I imagine their locker room was a little bit more
boisterous.
Probably a good thing we didn't have our camera in the locker room in Mountain View.
You know, Westwood, such a rich football tradition back in the 60s and the early 70s. When Bob Souza played here in the 60s, and Danny White was here, early part of the 70s, and such great tradition. And now they're trying to bring it back. 7-3 a year ago, unbeaten this year, and we're set to go for the start of the second half. Brian Mason kicks it off deep, and it comes down to Matt Fitch, who takes it with about his own 5-yard line, finds a wedge, and moves out over the 35 or the 25 to about the 28-yard line. So it'll be 1st and 10 Toros from that point as they start the second half, as Brian Mason in on that tackle for Westwood. So we'll see what the Toros do here now. 2-0 our score. Jess Parker. His record, 136 wins, 43 losses, and 3 ties overall. At Mountain View, Jess has won 86 games and lost only 17. This is Lindhorst on a sweep to the right side. Good yardage as he cracks out over the 30-yard line to about the 32 or 3. So a good gain of about 6 or 7, and Rick Flaherty from the secondary makes the stop.
Now this is big offensively and big defensively for both these football teams as they try and establish the running game and the defense here in the second half. Westwood obviously wanting to show their superiority defensively, and Mountain View wanting to show, hey, we can move the football.
So it is second down and about 4 to go. The veer play, they hand it to Ballard. He's got a first down as he's out up to the 40-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10 for Mountain View. 2 running plays, and they've got the first down to start the third quarter. Well, you look back a couple of years ago at that state championship team of Mountain View when they had the great Paul Kasperczyk running from that tailback position, Rick Rader and Aaron Pineda pulling the trigger at quarterback, and some other good players to go along with it. Not maybe the same caliber of ball player on this year's football team, but still that same toughness molded into this team by the coaching techniques of Jess Parker. 1st and 10. Lindhorst. That sweep is working well at the start of the second half, and he's again got big chunks of yardage on first down as they're up near midfield. And for Westwood, Adolph Campos in on the tackle. Jess Parker talking to Bill Fasak as he sends in a play.
That's been one of the bright spots right there, Lindhorst, tonight. He's played some good football. He's got some big games for him and done some things well.
We didn't see very much of him in the game against McClintock. Second down, a short 2 to go for Mountain View. First man through is Ballard. He's got the first down. He's down into Westwood territory at the 49. So the second first down of the second half for Mountain View. The ground game going well, and Dale Noble makes the tackle as Jerry Loper looks on.
He really didn't talk a lot about defense in the locker room at halftime. They talked about their defensive effort in the latter stages of that halftime show. And everything pretty much concentrated on what they should do offensively. Now, defensively, they did play well the first down, but
Shepherd flank to the near side, Fitch to throw. He goes down the middle, and he's got Davis. And Davis is inside the 30-yard line. That's another first down for the Toros, and Fitch put that one right on the money.
Well, Fitch really suffered there, too. When he threw that football, he got leveled. All you have to do is get in the general area of where Bob Davis is, and he's going to catch the football and then go for more yards. Watch this. Boom, he really got hit. And that pass was right there. Davis went up for it, made the grab. Plows over 2 people, and the man on the bottom there was Flaherty, who got crunched.
3 straight first downs to start the second half. Lindhorst eludes 1 tackler and drives down close to the 25-yard line.
He got by Kowalczyk. Watch it again. Had him. Just slipped out of his grasp. Lindhorst played a good football game now. He's been one of the bright spots as we've talked about. This is a nice drive right now.
You might have heard Jerry Loper say in the locker room at halftime, they're not good enough to really run 10 or 11 plays right at you without making a mistake. Well, they're in the process of doing that right now, Mountain View, to start this second half.
About 7 or 8 right now.
8.5 minutes to go, third quarter. 2-0 Westwood. Pitch to put it in the air, and it's almost intercepted. Rod Bonner cut in front and almost picked it off. Take a look at the defense here for Westwood.
Being held up pretty well there at the line. And
try to hit his brother Mac, did Sam Fitch, and Bonner darn near picked it off.
A couple of 20s right there.
Ball at the 26 of Westwood. Third down, 7.
Well, you would expect a pass here. Well, you see his statistics, 61 yards and 4 completions.
Davis flanked wide right side, but instead they pitch it. A fine defensive play. As driving through that time was Jeff Wallace. To spill the ball carrier for a loss on the play.
Well, I have a feeling they won't try a field goal.
Good play by Wallace as he spilled Lindhorst that time. It puts the football all the way back at about the 29. It's fourth down coming up and about 10 to go.
You know, that really does take a weapon away from you, though, George, when you don't have a guy who can put that ball through the upright.
It is such a big part of football today.
Hey, did he have a good one last year?
As good as George for ASU this year. We're talking about Mike Shue. Fourth and 10. Pitch, the throw, got Davis, and Davis looking for the first down. He's short.
Good defensive effort.
Dropped at about the 21, and the Warriors will take over the football. First and 10.
See, they let him have the ground immediately in front of the chains. They knew exactly where the chains were. They unloaded the ball. What they wanted now was Davis just to use his sheer strength. He got a block, but he couldn't get away from the other 2 or 3, so the Mountain View rally has died.
But they proved that they can move the football here at the outset of the second half. It was a nice drive, and now they turn it over to Westwood. Peterson on a keep around the left side, and he gets good yardage on first down. He's out near the 30-yard line before Brent Lentz made the tackle for Mountain View. It'll be second down, but they got about, well, they're very close, about 9 yards on that one, second and 1.
This will be a big series right now for Mountain View, George. The offense just stalled. The defense has to take over here and contain Westwood to get that ball back for the offense. Only 2 points in this ball game. They belong to the Warriors of Westwood.
Adams flank near side. Handed off up the middle. And enough for a first down. The initial first down of the second half of the Westwood Warriors. The tackle by Kevin Nickel, the big defensive tackle for Mountain View. And Davis also getting up off the bottom of the pile. Westwood coming off the win a week ago against Chandler, 17-7. On September 27th, they knocked off Tempe right here, 29-6. Beat Corona del Sol at Corona, 38-24. And in the season opener right here, beat Scottsdale Coronado, 26-6. Adams again, flank out, as is Campos. Peterson takes the handoff, keeps it, nothing doing. Nickel on top of him, and also in on the tackle is Brad Green. So it's going to be second down coming up.
Gained maybe a yard on that play, maybe not quite a yard.
5:50 to go third quarter. Score remains 2-0 Westwood. Central Division League game. The Toros are 1-2 in league play. Peterson to throw to the near sideline, overshot Andrews up at about the 40 where Gustafson was over defending. Warriors are 3-0 in league play and leading the heap. So it'll be third down coming up and about 9 to go. The Toros took the second half kickoff, used up a lot of clock, but the drive stalled at about the 21-yard line of Westwood. And now the Warriors have it, facing a third down and 9 situation. Peterson going long. He's incomplete. He almost hit Campos.
He never saw it, George. When he threw the football, he was hit hard.
Morris and Shuckhart were back defending. Well, Westwood likes to throw long. They've thrown quite a few times tonight.
See, he's on the ground.
He was leveled. Like Gibson leveled him. Dropped that over the hand of Morris. But Campos couldn't bring it in. So it's 4th down and Noble, who has been rushed all night long, punting, standing in his own 20. Mac Fitch is back deep for the Toros. Another rush, but he gets this one away. Fair catch, Fitch, and he makes it at his own 36-yard line. 5:22 to go, third quarter. Toros get the ball for the second time here in the third quarter. They trail 2-0. Next week, St. Mary's and Horizon. Skyline Division football on ASPN from Glendale Community College. We'll be over at Chandler High School in a couple of weeks for the Wolves and Marcus Deniza. Boy, Chandler's been riddled by injuries. What started off as a very bright campaign for the Wolves has suddenly turned sour. Again, Lindhorst, a lot of blocking on the left side. He's got a first down at his own 48-yard line. Good blocking around that left side, and the tackle is finally made by Colton Taylor of Westwood. Boy, Lindhorst is having a fine night for the Mountain View Toros.
Watch it. This is just called finding your blocks and following them. Actually, it was Anderson who made the stop there, Ron Anderson.
Ball at the 49-yard line.
Get over there more, will ya?
Toros have been very effective here in this second half. Lindhorst again, and again good yardage. Right down near the Westwood side of the field, right in front of the bench, and he's close to another first down. And Tom Garcia from the secondary made the tackle. Mountain View moving the football here in the second half and still trailing, and he did get enough for a first down. It's at the Westwood 40.
Well, this is 2 straight offensive drives that they've moved the football very well. The last one stalled, but it started another.
Got to punch it in that end zone. Here's Ballard. Quick hitter. He fumbles the ball. Westwood's got it. The Warriors recover the football inside the 30 of Mountain View. Chalk up another turnover for the Toros, their third of the football game.
I saw that ball pop loose, George, and I put the binoculars on Jess Parker. And Jess had that look on his face like, are we going to get the ball? And then all of a sudden, you saw that dejection hit his face again. What?
So the third turnover, you look from another angle, field level, and Ballard with that quick hitter really got good yardage and separated from the ball, and another turnover for Mountain View. So Westwood has it back. Peterson, a quick pitch. This is Doug Lewis, and he's dropped by number 76, Bruce Lentz, the 6'2 senior defensive tackle. He goes 225. And for the most part tonight, Mountain View's defense has done a fine job of shutting down the Westwood ground game. Second down. Loss of about a yard. Peterson has gone all the way at quarterback. Nothing doing if he hands the ball off. Vidal, or rather make it, Jeff Wallace carried the football that time. And the Mountain View Brad Green made the tackle from his defensive end position.
This Mountain View defense has played tough football tonight. You have to hand it to them. Had a goal line stand earlier.
You know, it's incredible. We watch Mountain View one week, and we pick up the paper the next week, and they're on the short end of the score, and you wonder, how in the world did that happen? On the 25-yard line of the Warriors. And it's third down, about 10 yards to go. Peterson throws. He's got a man, and he came back and lost the first down yardage.
He sure did. I think he would have been close. I don't think he would have had the first down, George, but he went back quite a ways.
It was Rich Campos who made the reception, 5'9 senior. When he catches this ball, he would have had to dive forward for first down yardage. But watch him. He'll start going back, and then he's hit and drop.
See, there's a case he didn't know where the yardsticks were. or if he did, he forgot momentarily. It's close enough to measure yet, so yeah, he did have a first down where he caught the football and then came back.
Going to stretch the sticks out, and he's just that much short.
Yeah, I think they're going to go for it.
So it'll be 4th down and about a half a foot to go for a first down. And checking into the football game right now is Darrell Epps. Epps at the tight end spot. He caught a touchdown pass against Corona del Sol of 16 yards a few weeks ago. Jess Parker paces the sideline, imploring the defense to hold.
Now what happened last time, about the same situation down at the goal line, they tried to go up the middle. See if the quarterback keeps it there.
2:42 to go, third quarter. And they jump offside, Mountain View.
77.
Kevin Nickel jumped offside. Well, maybe that was the plan of Westwood, to throw him off balance on the cadence, and Nickel just jumped the gun. Easy way to get a first down, isn't it?
A lot of teams will use that play. They'll change the cadence around and just take, you know, if you're used to snapping on maybe a 3 count, maybe you go to a 4 or 5, and that defense gets so anxious.
So another mistake for the Toros. Peterson throws it in front of us to Andrews, who makes the reception.
Boy, he's a good-looking receiver.
Really is, at the 45. Gustafson the tackle. He could have the face act.
He could have quickly gone out of bounds, George, but he knew he could maybe get a few more yards because he really wasn't hearing footsteps yet. Now watch it. Pass will be complete. He could have went out of bounds right there. Now he just tries to change his footing, and actually he slipped a little bit. He might have gotten a little bit more yards. Oh, it was pretty good coverage over there after he finally got the football.
Got 4 on the play, 2nd and 6. Clock running, 1:50 to go, third quarter. 2-0, Westwood leads. Doug Lewis looks for a hole, pops free, and then he's converged upon and dropped as he that's Ballard from the linebacking spot getting up.
See, that's the difference, too, of high school football and college. You've got so many players that play both ways. And you start going into the latter portion of the third quarter, fourth quarter, these players are in good condition, but, you know, as much hitting's been going on, they're feeling it a little bit out there.
So here we go, third down and about 5 to go for the Warriors. Handed off and dropped on the play. Ballard comes in to make the tackle. And it's going to bring up 4th down. You take another look. For Westwood, Sean Roundtree carried the football.
Duffy almost got a late hit there. Now they're going to have to punt the football. It's a little bit too far to go here.
4th and 5. Noble to kick, and Fitch drops deep for Mountain View. There's Mack. All 5-7 of them. Noble gets it away. It's a wobbly kick. Fitch will field at his own 22 and start to the right side, and he's thrown down right there. Looked like Roundtree again who made the tackle. So it'll be Mountain View to the attack. They've proven they can move the football. They've moved it effectively here in the third quarter, but they have not been able to score.
See it again. Roundtree gets down there and grabs him around the collar, and he's just a little flea anyway. I mean, he's so little.
Clock running, 20 seconds to go, third quarter.
This will be the final play unless it's passed and incomplete.
Shuckart flank wide near side. Davis to the right. Hand the ball off to Ballard off the right side. Gets it out over the 25 to the 26. That'll be the final play of the third quarter. We've reached the end of the third quarter of play here at Brimhall Field in the Central Division game with the score. The Westwood Warriors 2, the Toros of Mountain View, nothing. We start the fourth quarter, 2nd and 7 Mountain View. They trail 2-0. The ground game's gone well, but not this time as Lindhorst is spilled in the backfield and we got a penalty marker down. He's dropped back at the 20 for a loss. Now let's check the flag.
Right around this bench.
Blocking, another chop block.
You know, it's a 2-0 ball game. I was going to say this is a lot like the baseball games we do with the Phoenix Giants, Arizona State, and Grand Canyon, but they never have 2-0 ball games. So you're seeing a piece of work here tonight. This is a couple of pretty good defenses going at each other here.
So another penalty. hurts Mountain View as they discuss the option.
I bet you Jess Parker is just fit to be tied with the mistakes his ball club has made.
Boy, it's been a mistake-prone football team this year. That's something you don't normally see from Jess Parker coach teams. They're usually pretty precision-like.
Let's see if he remembers to turn on his mic here.
Half the distance to the goal for a block below the waist by number 50, I think it was. Still second down.
Thank you very much. So it is second down. We thought it was Steve Trussell who was caught for the infraction.
It's 50 out there. Well,
You better be careful now because the ball's on the 10-yard line. You can't afford a turnover down here. Fitch throws out to Mac Fitch, who cuts it inside. He's got running room, and he's hit and wrapped up, but not before he got good yardage. Out over the 20 to about the 22 or 3. Got about 13 yards on that play. It'll be third down coming up, but they got a lot of it back.
a couple of times made the tackle, Atkinson and Garcia. We talked about him. He's a little flea out there and somehow is able to maneuver around. How big is he? What, 5'7" and a 5'8", 155. I think that's stretching it, both in height and weight.
Third down. 10 to go. Toros with the ball. Davis realigns himself left side. And the ball off. Straight up the middle and well short of a first down. And carrying the football for Mountain View is Chad Van Morleham, a 5'8 junior, 160-pounder, and that'll mean punting time for the Toros.
Why would they run the ball like that?
Can't understand that play at all. Jerry Loper, he'd like to see his ball club get untracked here in the second half. They've been held in check the entire second half. It's like Ballard standing back to punt of the way.
They're dropping two people back, keeping a couple out on the flanks to protect against the possible fake here.
They bounce it back.
They say his knee went down.
His knee did go down. He took that football on about the 10-yard line and his knee went down. That's a good call. And if we have a replay, you'll see it. Watch his knee. Right there, he's down. He is down. Good call right there. What a break for the Westwood Warriors. Well, that changes the entire complexion of this football game. Jerry Loper heading off the field now. This is a golden opportunity for Westwood. Now remember, they lead by 2. If they score, it's an 8-0 ball game. If they add the point and make it 9-0, Mountain View's going to have to score twice. Bonner, not much yardage, right side.
Well, the one thing they've got to score, and I don't know, as well as Mountain View has played defensively tonight, that's been the one bright spot. We talked about in the first half. That's been one bright spot they've had, maybe the only bright spot on that Toro Football Club all season long. They've got a solid defense. We saw them on the goal line stand earlier in the ball game. There's no guarantee here that Westwood's going to get into the end zone, but I think that defense got to be a little bit tired, maybe a little bit down right now.
Peterson barks out the signal. Hands it off. Lewis gets to about the 5, a little bit shy of the 5-yard line. Stacked up right there. It's going to be third down. And they've still got a long way to go. They got to get down to the 1-yard line for a first down. And again, that Toro defense stiffening. Lewis checks in along with Andrews for the Warriors. Third down.
I wonder if they might go either left side or right side this time, what they talked about in the locker room at halftime.
I'm waiting to see if Peterson puts the ball in the air. You look at what he's done tonight. He's going to throw. He lets it fly for the end zone. It is incomplete. Penalty marker. We're going to get a pass interference call. There was a double team in the end zone and contact was made.
I think they called it on 26, George.
You're going to see it in the end zone. Jason Shuckhart, if they call it, he is number 26 for the Toros. Watch again. Quick drop. Here's the throw. Shuckhart back there along with Brian Morris, and there was indeed contact.
Well, if the defenders are going for the football, there should be no pass interference. And it actually looked like 44 really wasn't going for the football.
Campos was the intended receiver, and he's telling the official, hey, throw the flag. They did. It is first and goal. And the ball's at the 4-yard line. 9 minutes, 3 seconds left in this game. Westwood trying to remain unbeaten, leading 2-0. It's been a war out here tonight. Long count. Noble goes nowhere. Stacked up right at the line of scrimmage, and Big Brent Lentz down at the bottom of the pile.
They're going to have to go outside because I really feel they're not going to be able to score going up the middle.
They tried it in the first half.
4 consecutive plays. You see Jess Parker. He's a little bit down right now, but he's got so much confidence in that defense. If they go to the outside, they being Westwood, I think they might have a chance to score. But they keep trying to drive it down the nose of Mountain View. They're going to have a tough time. They're going to have to earn it.
Peterson drops the throw. Lets it fly. He's got Andrews, and he overshoots it. Gustafson was defending in the end zone. It's 3rd and goal. The ball on the 4.
And here we go with another one of those stands by the Mountain View defense. Had to get a little bit lower. He had Atkinson beat.
So it's 3rd down and goal.
Sorry.
8 minutes, 24 seconds left in the game. Mountain View's defense being put to the test, and they're rising to the occasion.
They've been picking on Gustafson all night long.
Peterson will throw the other way. Lets it fly, incomplete, penalty marker down. Again, he tried to hit Campos, and we get another pass interference call. And Brian Morris, the guilty party. Boy, you talk about backbreakers. This one really on a 3rd and goal. Morris, you saw him down on the ground. He tried to get up, and he bumped the receiver Campos, and there went the flag.
Parker's called a timeout, too.
Jess is really letting the officials have it. Penalty marker down, and Jess is out there now. You see him talking to the officials. His players trying to hold him back.
Well, I don't really see any reason for argument there. And I'll say
Jim Carruthers there seems to be gesturing to Jess, would you please leave the playing field? Jess coming back now to huddle up with his team. Bob Davis thrown out of the game. Boy, you talk about a big loss. That is a huge loss for Mountain View. You see Davis right there. Boy, you can ill afford to lose a player of his caliber, that's for sure.
I don't know how they lost him.
I don't know whether he said something to the official about the call or what, but he's been ejected. There's the interference call right there. And Morris did have a hand on his back, it appeared from that picture. So Davis, the heart and soul of this football team, thrown out.
They got too many men on the field. Okay, now they're okay.
So Westwood has the ball now. 8:20 to go in the game. Westwood leading 2-0. Penalty situation right there. Westwood's been down here before. They have not been able to push it in. Peterson, give it off. He's to the goal line, but he did not get over. They signal no touchdown.
Tough going down there.
Really is.
Really going to be a lot tougher, though, for Mountain View now that Davis is gone.
Wallace coming out, and Lewis coming in. Wallace carried the football right there. And Mountain View giving no ground on that defensive line. 2nd down. Goal. He didn't get in. He might have been dropped for a loss. Looked like Doug Lewis. Boy, Mountain View has been incredible down to the goal line. They're dominating the line of scrimmage down there. And again, it looks like Westwood's going to be forced either to the outside or throw the ball. He never got started. Never got started. Bruce Germain cracking through that time. Remember, Bob Davis is out of the football game. Peterson to throw, lets it fly, it's incomplete. It is incomplete. Penalty marker down, a late flag. It's going to be 4th down. It's going to be 4th down. Watch it again.
Flag against Westwood, I think.
Brian Morris closest to the play. Well, I'll tell you one thing, if you're Westwood, You can't afford to be given these scoring opportunities and come away empty. Even though they've held Mountain View out of the end zone all night, Mountain View's moved the football in the second half. You take the points when you're given the opportunity, but Westwood's been unable to do it tonight. It's fourth down, it is goal to go, and the ball's at the 2. How many times can Mountain View hold them? Timeout Westwood. Well, you just wonder, Jess Parker on the field clapping his hands, Jerry Loper coming out to talk it over with the offense. This Toro defense has been called upon a lot tonight, and they've responded. And now they've been called upon, they're going to be in a moment, one more time to keep the orange and blue of the Warriors out of the end zone. Boy, you look back and you say, how did this team lose to Dobson and Marcus Veneza? But we saw Dobson a week ago. They're not a bad football team.
You know how good Gerard must be scoring as many points as he did.
Right. Gilbert is the top-ranked team in the state, remember, in AAA Division II. That's our story here tonight. And Gilbert took the Toros apart 33-12 in the opening game of the season. Jerry Loper probably saying, come on, guys, we've had so many opportunities. Let's do it. Just Parker saying, fellas, just hold for one more down. Moment of truth, it's here right now. Fourth and goal from the 2. 2-0 Westwood leads in the fourth quarter. Peterson on a roll, being chased. He is dropped for a loss. Mountain View takes over the football.
Look at Jess Parker. Thought they just won the ball game. Well, that is a tough defense.
You can't say enough about this Mountain View defense. I mean, they really have done a job tonight.
They've given up 15 points in their last 2 ball games and almost 4 quarters now, almost 3 ball games. Look at that. Ballard.
Great play by Ballard. He shot through from the linebacking spot.
Now let's see if that fires up the Mountain View offense.
Another angle.
Problem is, George, they have not been able to get that ball moving offensively. They've moved it a few times, but they keep coughing it up.
3 turnovers tonight for Mountain View.
Boom.
Handoff and nothing doing. Right at the line of scrimmage.
Have you seen a better defensive game than this? Been a while.
Excellent football game tonight. 6.5 minutes left in the game.
Our highlight show is going to be a little short.
Westwood, the only unbeaten team in the Central Division, ranked number 5 in the state. That man will settle for a win even if it is by a 2-0 score.
The ironic thing is no one has put it in the end zone. There was a flag and a penalty that allowed 2 points to be scored in this one.
That man has seen the good and the bad over here at Westwood, believe me. Suffered some bleeding ulcers. As a coach over here, he's seen down years of 3-7 a couple of times, and started to see the program rebound a year ago at 7-3. He had a good JV unit come up and help this year, and so far he's 4-0. But being put to the test tonight by this Mountain View club.
Someone downstairs just said a field goal could win it, but it's been a problem, big problem for Mountain View in kicking the football. We saw that earlier tonight.
It'll be 2nd and 10 when play resumes. Ball on the 11-yard line of the Toros. They have it. Next week, St. Mary's and Horizon. Be with us. Excellent crowd here at Brimhall Field tonight. And this place seats a bunch, believe me.
Well, you think they might go for the home run ball?
He's thrown the ball effectively at times tonight. They'll pitch it to Lindhorst. He's had a good night. And he's got some running room. And he's upended at about the 18-yard line. He's going to be about 4 yards shy of a first down. And the tackle by Rick Flaherty from the secondary.
Flaherty's played a pretty good game.
Yes, he has.
He's come up with some big plays, and this was a big one here. Well, Lindhorst has really played a ball game. Picking his holes right there, trying to find exactly which was the best one to take, best route.
3rd and 4. Big play for the Toros. If they don't make it, they got to kick it away, and it'll appear, anyway, as though Westwood would get good field position. So a key play. Plus the clock is running with 5.5 minutes to go in the game. They'll try the running play again, and it will not work. Lindhorst is spilled for a loss back at about the 15. It'll be kicking time for the Toros.
and they've got to kick it. They can't.
5:20 to go in the game.
See, the one thing they can't do, they can't keep putting the pressure on the defense like that. If they would not make it on a 4th down, and the defense once again would be asked to come up with another superhuman effort.
So they'll drop one man back. Rick Flaherty will go back to midfield and await the punt. Chris Ballard will kick it away. Nice kick. Excellent kick. Takes a Toro bounce, and look at this one. Talk about bailing him out of a hole. Blown dead at the 35-yard line. An excellent kick. 50-yard punt by Ballard. It came at a very key time. 4:40 to go in the game. 2-0 Westwood. Phoenix Suns back left. You look at the time. Final drive of the night for Mountain View. Trying to win it in the final seconds. Ballard breaks free. He's got running room. He's at the 40-yard line of Westwood. That's another first down. Boy, Mountain View just refusing to go to the air. They're doing it all on the ground. 1:09 on the clock. They mark it for the first down. Start the clock. 1:07. Here come the Toros at the 41 of the Warriors. Now they'll stop the clock. Timeout Westwood. Defense trying to regroup. Jerry Loper trying to get his team charged up and thwart this final Mountain View charge. Jess Parker coming on the field. Been a good one tonight. Tough football game. Turnovers have really hurt Mountain View. There's Jess, greeted in the huddle right there by Steve Trussell. Remember, if Westwood holds on and wins this game, it will be the first time a Mountain View team has ever lost more than 3 games in a season since the school opened. 1 minute, 1 second to play. Greg Schulte down on the field. He'll be visiting with the winning coach, whoever it might be, after this game. Everybody on the Mountain View side of the field on their feet. It is 1st and 10. Fitch to put it in the air. Gets it away. It is complete to the 32-yard line. Penalty marker down. We're going to get a personal foul call on Westwood. That pass complete to Wes Hill, a 5'10 senior, and then they threw a late flag. Oh, brother. Pitch getting pressure now, gets it away. There's the completion. There's the late hit. Gonna get a personal foul call against Westwood. Hey, we're coming down to a heck of a finish in this one. Inside the 20. The ball is at the 16. A late hit call. 54 seconds and counting. Mountain View, timeout Westwood again. Mountain View has outplayed the Warriors here tonight. But they're still on the short end of the score, 2-0. And the Warriors, or rather the Toros, have done it primarily on the ground. They had a 3rd and 5 way back at their own 20 just moments ago. And Steve Lindhorst broke a big gainer up their midfield. Kept the drive going. Then Chris Ballard went for 12 yards and a first down. Then the pass and the personal foul. Remember, Bob Davis has been ejected from the game. Their star player. That's the Westwood side of the field, hollering for the defense. We got a safety call in the first half as the penalty situation was flashed there. And it was a controversial safety. That's been the only scoring in this football game. Here we go. This is Lindhorst again. Going wide, gets a block from Ballard, cuts it inside. He's all the way down inside the 10. Clock running with 40 seconds to go. Another look as the unbeaten streak of Westwood being put to the test tonight. Boy, Lindhorst has played a game and a half this evening. Second down, 2 to go. Ball at the 9 of the Warriors. Fitch gonna throw, penalty marker down. That's a lateral. That's a lateral. No, they call it an incomplete pass. Not Fitch, carried it in for a score. But a penalty flag is thrown. I thought it was a lateral at first, but the official ruled no. Procedure against Mountain View. Illegal procedure. You can bet Westwood will take this one. They want to get him as far back from the goal line as they can. 20 seconds on the clock. That's all that's left in this one. Boy, what a wild finish. Another look. Sam Fitch throws across and bounces it to Mac Fitch. Right there it was ruled incomplete. Mac picked it up and carried it in, but the official was ruling incomplete. He called it a pass, not a lateral. It didn't matter anyway. Procedure penalty set him back 5. Ball at the 14. Fitch over the middle, incomplete. Try to hit Jason Sheckhart. Down inside the 10. That used up 4 seconds. 16 seconds left in the game. Gonna be third down coming up. A lot of this crowd on their feet here at Brimhall Field. This has been the site of some great football games in the past, and they're witnessing another one here tonight. Central Division football at its best. Fitch pump fakes, lets it fly, and is intercepted! Intercepted! See if that was Ron Anderson that picked it off. The Toros of Mountain View, the drive is stopped. And the Warriors take over. Yes, Ron Anderson, his second interception of the night. And it came with 12 seconds to play. Another look. Fitch is looking for the end zone. Underthrows the receiver, and there's Anderson. Another angle. Sheckhart, the intended receiver. Anderson has 2 interceptions. Westwood just needs to run out the clock. Peterson hits the ground. Clock is running. Now they'll stop it. Timeout Toros. That's the last timeout. One more snap of the football and Westwood will go to 5-0. What a game here tonight. Well, Mountain View gave it a great shot here tonight and came up just a bit short. We'll look forward to hearing from Greg Schulte and Jerry Loper. Following this game, we ask you to stay with us. Mountain View has had more than their share of opportunities tonight, and they just haven't been able to push it in the end zone. Their defense has been outstanding. You see the jubilation on the Westwood side of the field. This will make it 2 years in a row they've beaten Mountain View. The overall series will stand at 5-3, Mountain View after tonight. But this will be a sweet victory for the Warriors. One more snap of the football. Going to be an offside as Chris Ballard came diving into the pile. 2-0. A safety, the only score in this game. Another offside as Mountain View makes contact. And that's the football game. That is the game. I don't understand that. 7 seconds on the clock. There was an offside infraction on Mountain View, and rather than step off the penalty, now the gun goes off. But the officials just stepped in and said, hey, that's it. So a mob scene on the field. Westwood moves its record to 5-0. More important, they are 4-0 now in league play.